What is it like for post-deployment veterans who experience post-traumatic stress disorder to have mental health disparities? To us, this may never be completely understood, but through their eyes, perhaps we can see a glimpse of understanding. PTSD has had many names throughout the history of war. In the late 1600s, the Swiss called it nostalgia to describe the soldier's homesickness and despair. This term was also used in the U.S. Civil War. However, many military physicians thought public humiliation would cure this phenomenon. World War I introduced the term shell shock, thinking that the nightmares and anxiety stemmed from the compressing sounds of exploding shells in combat. World War II described these traumatic responses from war as battle fatigue and were thought to be related to long deployments away from home. Eventually, this phenomenon's diagnostic criteria morphed into what is now known as post-traumatic stress disorder. Today, it is estimated that 7.7 million American adults suffer from its debilitating anxiety and depression. Depression and anxiety are not the only symptoms that veterans with PTSD ever experience. One study stated that soldiers who screened positive for PTSD were twice as likely to engage in unethical conduct as those who did not. Post-deployment veterans with PTSD have also been found to be 5 times more likely to have eating disorders than their fellow soldiers. Other symptoms of PTSD and long deployments have included substance abuse and even suicidal ideation. How does deployment and war cause these lasting disparities? Many veterans report seeing the gruesome end of war. Fellow brothers and sisters fallen at the enemy's hands. Civilians and soldiers alike have been traumatized by what they have seen and witnessed. In some cases, even on a daily basis. Wounded men, women, and children have all been described in interviews, if soldiers are even willing to come forward to share. It's no wonder why alcohol misuse is so common with veterans. Can one blame our servicemen and women from partaking in such acts? Veterans who have used cannabis over their lifetime have nearly doubled their odds for suicidal ideation and are even 3 times as likely to actually attempt suicide. The length of deployments has also been known to have a direct correlation to alcohol misuse, depression, and PTSD. In the Department of Veteran Affairs, Palo Alto healthcare system, 65% of veterans treated there have had PTSD. 96% have chronic pain. 86% have sleeping problems such as insomnia. 59% have probable depression, and 49% have fatigue. Barriers to treatment for these veterans have included the stigma that comes along with mental health treatment, the readiness to change, access for those who have no transportation, and the cost. 2 million veterans from Operation Iraqi Freedom suffer from mental disorders that may significantly affect work functioning and access to full-time jobs. The lowest employment rates in the VA have mental disorders such as PTSD, schizophrenia, and bipolar disorder. The good news is that the U.S. is recognizing this need to help our returning veterans. President Obama issued the Vow to Hire Heroes Act and the Veterans Job Corporation, which are initiatives to recognize this need. Some studies have shown that exercise can actually reduce PTSD severity and that recreational physical activities can be beneficial to overall well-being. Other charitable organizations, such as the Wounded Warrior Project, have helped veterans overcome their PTSD. We hold holidays such as Independence Day and Veterans Day to celebrate the freedom our servicemen and women have given to us. Now is the time to really protect those who have protected us. We need to try to see it through their eyes.